everyone, welcome to another video of mine where I do some more ASMR. But for this one, instead of just whispering, I'm going to be talking as softly as possible, not to be too quiet, not to be too loud. And if you want to tell me if you like one or the other, let me know. I'd really like to know so that I can continue doing these in a way that's the most appealing to my audience. I do really like whispers when it comes to ASMR. It's only when there's like a little bit of like role play or talking. Like there's like a scenario in the ASMR that I like soft talking and not so much whispering. Most of the time it's just whispering. And I don't really know what I actually want to talk about. I'm just kind of freeballing it. There's not much to discuss when it comes to Spiral Abyss in comparison to Imagining Theater because there's so many teams you get to work with, so many characters that I could mention and talk about, but I really just use my Bloom team and Arlecchino, which for Arlecchino I do have to change our team, but we'll get to that later. I love my Llama Bloom team. I feel like I can conquer anything with it. I mean, I can't because it's Genshin and they won't allow you to do that, but there's just so much that I can do, and I feel very fulfilled with the fact that my Llama is at a point where I don't feel like I need Nefer for basically anything, and that's nice. But at the same time, I still kind of want her because she is cool, but who knows if I'll get her at all. I'm not so sure. At the moment in my saving, like, for Snezhnaya, uh, I wouldn't call it a series because I'm not recording it. I don't know what to call it, but I'm at, I think, 32 million Mora at the moment, but I still want to get to, I want to get Nicole. And when I watched that, what was it, a teaser? I think it was a teaser. Yeah, it just blew my mind away. And the song, I have that song stuck in my head. And I replay it in my head when I'm going to sleep because it's so beautiful. And I'm assuming it's Latin because I can't understand it. And that usually means if the language doesn't sound French, if the language doesn't sound Spanish, it's probably Latin, which means that I can definitely learn it myself, but it's so hard to tell what the words are. And I wonder if they'll come out with like a lyric sheet for this one, like they did for the Columbina song that's Latin. And that was really helpful. So for this boss, I was thinking this is a good team, but at the same time, I don't know how this boss entirely works, and I don't know if I was doing it correctly, but you did see a lot of damage get taken after I filled up the bar and then got rid of his cryo shield, so I'm like, okay, maybe this is good. But actually, I could do something a lot better. And I didn't know that until I switched to the next team, because my Arlecchino likes reactions since she's on Crimson Witch, because the pieces on my Crimson Witch set are just a lot better than the pieces that I got for, I think the set's Harmonic Whimsy. So the Harmonic Whimsy set went onto Clarend and it works a lot better for her. And I don't think there's any other set that could do what needs to be done for Clarend as well as Harmonic Whimsy, especially since I use her in so many different teams. And with Arlecchino, I think she's just baseline powerful, that it doesn't matter if I have Crimson Witch, as long as she has a lot of crit stats, she's fine. So the fluidity of her kit and the artifact set just in combining into one is very helpful. So I'm never worried about having Crimson Witch on her instead of Harmonic Whimsy. For this boss, if you only have Lauma and you can put her on a DPS set and you don't have any other lunar reactions, you really have to set up her nuke damage to like keep her burst until you need it to nuke off that shield, or else you're just not gonna get anywhere with it. But then again, I don't know if it'll work if you don't have at least C2, because I've never known my Lauma. I don't even remember what she was like when I didn't have her C2, and her C2 is one of the biggest increases in damage a C2 will give you for a support, and it works for her as well. Oh yeah, my Xiangling died, so I had to restart this guy. This guy kept killing me, but I like fighting this boss because I know I'll be fine with Arlecchino. She's defeated him before in a different team. And I also have Kirara as a shield if I need it when he's doing that thing, that mechanic where you need a shield. And I recently got her at C6, and that's nice as well. It's a really good C6. I'm actually shocked. And then we go into this guy who is a local legend, and he hits really, really hard until you get like the bar up so that you're doing a lot of blooms and he's all dizzy and whatnot. At that point, it's fine. It's totally fine. Nothing bad's gonna happen. But if you don't get that, he will hit you very hard. And it's very annoying. And I know this because I use him as a test dummy against my Lauma, so I can see her damage. It helps. And I'm not using Columbina, and I don't use Columbina with my Lauma because I know C6 works better with her than uh, Columbina. I've been comparing the numbers and the utility, and I'm like, sorry, Columbina, it's not working, especially since when it's a bloom team and I want the bloom cores themselves to do a lot of damage, you need to make sure that all of your characters have EM, because you don't know which bloom core came from which character, and that is dependent on the EM of every character. So I can't exactly build Columbina on EM because she scales off HP. I mean, it's an option, you can do it, but it's a bit eh. This is the boss where I figure out that I need to reconfigure my party because his little goons just go everywhere, and I can't tell which ones like need to die because they just go all over the place, and I can't see all of them in my screen. So I'm like, okay, I need Kazuha because I don't have Venti. I need to put them all in one place so that I can kill them more easily. And then I skim through most of the rest of Spiral Abyss. I skim through my when the second half of each round, because you've already basically seen it. I didn't show any. There wasn't any difference in the battles. And here I swirled Cryo accidentally. I did not mean to do that, but it ended up being good because it's melt, and that is such a nice thing for Arlecchino. So yeah, this first round went very well. If I do get Nicole, I do want to see the improvements on my Arlecchino because that's who I'd mostly be getting her for. I love Arlecchino. I would love to give her something that can make her do more damage, and that would be Nicole. I really do hope I get her. I decided to save my pulls. I know, crazy. Oh yeah, my Arlecchino dies here. That was not fun. And see if I can get Nicole at all. It's fine. It is totally fine if I don't get C5 llama because the goal is C6, and I would just pay for it when the time comes because I love her that much and I'm willing to pay anything for her. And I don't do that with any other character, so I'm like, okay, morally I'm not doing anything out of my sphere of morals, doing anything too crazy. This team was definitely a lot better for my Arlecchino. I was doing a lot more damage. I mean, Shalona and Kaza are great supports, and I don't know of Xiangling's support capabilities. I just know she does pyro damage, and that's about it. But I haven't looked at her cons in so long. And then we get back to this guy, and I'm telling myself, be patient, be patient. Just remain calm, even though I'm worried. I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to fight this guy and fight him in time so that for the second half, I have enough time. Like, even like here you can see I'm being very, very slow, just walking around, making sure I get all the guys. I do not. Some of them are outside the circle. And it's annoying. So I'm like thinking to myself, maybe you just have to defeat like a lot of the goons. You don't have to defeat all of them. Like that part is a little unclear. But I did get to the halfway point in his health bar, so I'm like, okay, maybe it is okay. Maybe everything's fine, and I'm just overreacting because we're almost done. And I did not mean to do the short Kazuha skill. I meant to do the long one, so I'm like, okay, let's redo this. We can do it. It's just fine. Don't panic. Okay, panic, because all the goons are everywhere. Let's just hit all of them and heal. But I have enough time. And then for this boss, it's just the crab for Bloom, and I can handle that just fine. So I save my llama burst, of course. Well, I try to get it, and then I save it, and as well as my moon dews, or whatever they are, whatever. I don't know what they are. I don't remember. So I can hit him while he's still down. Here's where I think um I know even comes in more handy. I don't know what it is about her skill and her burst, but I love it for this guy. It just works so much better. And Columbina, I feel like it's just so finicky. Specifically for this team. I can't speak on many other teams because I mean for my Zibai team it's just skill burst and then never think about her again. So I don't know. But I do start to panic because I'm like, okay, can I do enough damage before the time goes down? And the answer is, of course, yes. But I was like, okay, nothing bad happened, and I successfully 36 starred the Abyss. And I use those primos to add to my amount. I have 24 wishes right now. And for here, we go over the teams and my builds for them. I still think I can improve my llama, especially since her max crit rate only gets to 91, and I would prefer for that to be at least 99. And then her artifacts, they're nothing too impressive. They're just good. They're not like super great. And then my Nilu is only amazing because she has Key of Caution Suit, which I did end up paying for because I'm like, I want my Bloom team to be so good. And I think the payoff is so worth it. I will be getting her C2 as soon as I possibly can. And then we go to Nahida, who is on Llama's weapon because Llama's weapon can also buff Llama as well when it's on someone else and on herself, of course. But I think it works better on Nahida, of course. I mean, I'm using Llama's DPS, duh. And then I should definitely crown Nahida's burst because I just don't have it. I don't know why. My Ino is full EM and I highly recommend it. Some people have tried to argue put crit on Ino. I'm like, why? She does no damage. It doesn't freaking matter. And then my Arlecchino build, which I am super super proud of. Love it. I love the fact that I have her weapon. And I do get a little embarrassed saying that I put her on Crimson Witch, but at the same time, the pieces are great. I'm doing good numbers. I'm doing the same numbers anybody else would if they have her weapon and she's at C0. So it's really no difference. Shalonen, nothing too notable about her build. I have her weapon R5. Her pieces kind of suck, but I'm really just wanting ER and defense. No constellations, and her skill is crowned. Kazuha, I just don't care about him. Every time he has a piece and I want that piece for a different character, I give that piece to that character. I don't care. So he has just a bunch of crap on him. I don't. He gets nothing. And then he's at 8-8, which those should be leveled up to like 9-9, whatever. Xiangling, lots of ER. I should definitely find ways to improve my Xiangling, but at the moment I'm not sure what to do. I think it's pretty great. And anyways, thank you all for watching. I will see you in my next video, which will probably be about the Saritsa, because I finished up her concept art that I made. Goodbye!